Hey YouTube, this is Eddie's Tech Talk. Let's see if we can adjust the lighting here. And this is my review not of the HTC 8X, but of Windows Phone 8. I really did specifically request a Windows Phone for the sole purpose of reviewing Windows Phone 8 and seeing what it had to offer because I've never used one in extensive, I just haven't extensively used one before. So I just wanted to see what the heck Microsoft is doing with their operating system, who it appeals to, why I like it, why I don't like it. Um, I have gained some perspective in my use of technology. People might say, "Oh, this is terrible," or "This is a terrible piece of, a terrible phone or a terrible operating system." I think everything can appeal to someone. There's always an audience that someone appeals to. There's extensive market research that is done before releasing products like these, like operating systems. So I think everything can relate to someone. Everything is recommendable to someone, and I wanted to see who Windows Phone is recommendable to. Now, one thing that I want to get to first is the lock screen here. And this is like a surprise party thrown for me for my 16th birthday. I got a limo, pretty cool. There's the group there. This is actually a Facebook photo, and down here you can't really see. It's something I don't care about as much, but a reminder for my calendar shows up. So it's a very nice lock screen, very beautiful looking, and that this picture actually changes all the time. So even during the course of this video, I don't know if it will or not, but it might change to another photo, which is really cool. Um, Windows Phone 8 does not have a notification center, something that iOS and Android do have. You might miss it a lot. You might think, wow, that's an integral part of Android, that's an integral part of iOS. How can Microsoft do that? That's because they have these things called live tiles. You see how these tiles are all moving around on the screen here. Um, it's pretty cool. And you can resize these tiles. You can make this size really small, much larger like I have it, because it's one of my most used apps. I make it very large. When I get a text message, which I don't want to show any numbers, but I'll actually have someone send me a message if anyone is up at 9:12 in the morning. All right. So anyway, this actually, this brightness is weird. I'll have to adjust it, but if I get a text message, the name of the contact will show up and the message. So it doesn't really need a notification center per se because it shows up here. And like this little mail icon when I have an email, since the tile is a smaller size, it won't say the email, just a 1 will appear, so I know I have it. So everything is really just on the screen here. All your most important apps you can just see. It's really simple. You just go boom, swipe up, boom. All your notifications are right there. You don't have to swipe down or anything. Which is a really cool feature. I know Microsoft used that in some marketing campaigns. Like it's always there. It's just there. You don't have to swipe through screens or anything. Your stuff's just there, which is really cool, really awesome. I'm going to see if I can adjust this brightness really quick. Sorry about the wait. Brightness is not as on automatic. Does this look better? No, that looks worse. We will adjust that even further. But as you can see by the time it's taken me, I have not adjusted the brightness before. It's not a difficult process. Let's see if this works. There we go. That looks better. Anyways, and then music. If you're playing a song, which I did add through, I don't want to avoid. I want to avoid copyright here. But I just put a little bit of music on here. You can see the songs and all this. It's very, very nice, very well organized. So we'll play that. Very nice music player. Next song, previous song. Very cool. And then this live tile you see is now says Coldplay. That's what I'm playing. If I ever adjust the volume, there it is. When I turn the lock screen on, I didn't push the volume buttons. It just appears, so you can pause it or do anything you want to that, which is a really cool feature. It's very nice. To get out of any apps, you just press this X button here, which is really great. Actually, this is a new update that was released. Before, I had to just spam the back button until I got out of apps, which was really annoying. Anyway, so I really like how everything is present right here. I really like that. Windows Phone, I think, tries to be the middle ground between Apple and Android, but whereas Android is super customizable, but some of it takes, like intrinsic knowledge of coding or things like that. Um, this does not as much. Uh, this is just a little bit customizable, whereas Apple is really not customizable. Their iPhones are really not customizable at all. You can just change the background really there. Um, and I'll show you that now, the customization. It might be in applications. Guess not, I'll find it here. But you can see some of the settings in here while I'm browsing for it. Yeah, it does have Beats Audio. I did try to listen to Beats Audio, side note here. Um, and it did make the music louder. I thought it might have been a little richer. It did sound a little bit better. It wasn't ridiculous, I wouldn't buy a phone just because it has Beats Audio. But it is a nice feature there to have. Sorry, it's hard to look through the camera and see this. Here we go, theme. And it has the HTC theme because this phone in particular is HTC. You see the color of the phone is blue, so that theme is the blue color that the phone is, which is pretty cool. You can just invert it. So boom, now it's like that. And you can I did that already. And you can change the color to any of these. If I want to change it to emerald, you can do that. So, you can really just radically change the look of the phone in a matter of seconds, which is really awesome. I really like that too, how it has a good customization medium between Apple's nothing and Android's everything. So it's pretty cool. Another thing that I really fell in love with this phone is this actually has the most integration of any smartphone OS I've ever seen. And by integration, I mean software integration, like music. I plugged it into Windows 8 and it said Microsoft recommends Windows Phone, which is an application. So it automatically started downloading it. I didn't use it. I just dragged it over using Windows Explorer, my music, but it was still nonetheless pretty awesome. I do have a lot to say about this OS. I really did like it. The one crux of this is that it has a lack of apps. It just does not have apps. There's not, but it does have Facebook, it does have Twitter, and it has my Endomondo for running, and it has ESPN Fantasy Football for that. So it does have a lot of apps or substitutes for some of your favorite apps. But two of my favorite apps, Pulse, it's a newsfeed reader, and Clash of Clans, which is a game it did not have. So it doesn't have that great apps, but it's still a great operating system. I'll go to email and accounts and see real quick if this shows. Yeah, this does show my account. So I'll just go to add an account. So you can see all the accounts that you can add. You can add Outlook, Hotmail, Backup Assistant. That's a Verizon feature only. Yahoo Mail, Google, like your Google Mail, other account, blah, blah, blah. Facebook and Twitter are also on here, but I added them already, so apparently I don't have the opportunity to add them again. But a really awesome thing is that I didn't have to do anything. I said, crap, it's a Windows phone, I have Android, my contacts, how the heck am I supposed to get those to sync over? And they're Google, they're backed up through Google. So I went to Google and added my Gmail, and that did everything. I had all my contacts. The calendar you see at the lock screen is my Google Calendar. Everything's synced. It's just like, it's not just like Android. It has, slightly better things, but it really integrated every single thing I had. All my contacts, everything. And then also I logged in with Facebook, both my Google Mails, which was really, and Twitter I logged in as well. Pretty awesome stuff there. And it does have Facebook and Twitter, which I will show. They're pretty basic. They're not as it's just normal app here, not as feature rich as maybe an Android or an iPhone. I didn't like the interface quite as much, but it was still very operable. I didn't actually sign into Twitter, it looks like. Just in the settings I signed into Twitter. It was really cool that it integrated all that stuff. And if you're just doing Facebook or Twitter, let me show you this in messaging. Alright, I don't think any numbers are shown here. Yeah. So threads, this is all my threads, online and not online, and the integration is great. I can start a text message, and I can, let's see if I can get this to work. Patrick. So if I want to text my buddy Patrick here, and I'll make sure that his number is shown, but I can text my friend and his, I just can't show this without showing his number. and I can text them on Facebook, and then online. So I have threads. This is my text messaging threads. All my text messaging threads are in here. And then online, everyone online, which more people were here a minute ago, but it's set to available, busy, away, online. Maybe not that many people are online. I can just chat any of these people like a normal text message. Chat on Facebook, it said in the dialogue there. Really cool. And I actually got notification of a thread. It appeared in here, and it was online. And it actually appeared as a normal notification. I mean, the integration was great. The interface is the same for everything. If I'm texting someone on Facebook or anything, the interface is exactly the same. It was a really nice experience. This is probably the best experience with the whole phone, was that everything was just beautifully integrated into Windows. And the messaging app, you had your threads for here, you had your online contacts, Facebook and Twitter. I mean, it was just so great and so integrated. And if someone messaged me personally on Facebook, I got a notification. And how Windows handles notifications, I have not got one yet. I guess I'm not that popular. But it's just a banner appears across the top here, and it says, if I got a text message from my girlfriend, her name's Emily, it'll say Emily. It'll say the content of the text message. And I can tap it to go to it, or swipe it away if I don't want it. And then if I don't want it, it still appears here in the messaging. So that was probably the best experience with the whole phone, is the messaging app. I'll show you the keyboard. Very nice keyboard on Windows Phone, very responsive. I mean, you have seen me swiping through all these home screens. Everything is quite responsive, quite great. It's not even like next gen hardware. I mean, this is a dual core. I think it's 1.5 or 1.7 gigahertz on this particular phone, and it just flies through everything. Windows Phone is not very hardware intensive, and I like that as well because you can get lower end smartphones for better, possibly. I really did like this phone, but that'll come in the review, which I will post in the description once it's made. And I really like Windows Phone 8. It's a really great operating system. Am I going to switch to it? Probably not. You might be like, you're a hypocrite, but I'm probably not going to switch to it because I'm not up for 2 year yet. I am a geek and a tech guy, so Android is, that's where the geeks hang out, so that's kind of my platform of choice. But if you're a first-time smartphone buyer, I actually recommended a Windows Phone to a teacher of mine who was going to buy her first smartphone because it's very simple to use. That great integration keeps the interface the same. So if you haven't used, a smartphone before, you don't want to deal with a bunch of different interfaces. It's all right there. Apps is the biggest crux of the operating system, really. And I think if I was switching, if it was my next phone, I think Android is still the king. But I mean, I will tell you a disclaimer: I don't really like Apple in the first place. But I think I would definitely get a Windows Phone over an iPhone for sure, unless you're a real heavy app user. But if you're on an iPhone now and you're like, man, you don't want an Android for some reason. I mean, Windows Phone is a great middle ground. It's a great operating system. Just no apps to be had in the App Store. I mean, there are apps. Instagram was just added, which is a pretty great thing. But like YouTube doesn't have an official app or anything, so it is missing stuff there. But that's been my review of Windows Phone 8. If you liked the video, please subscribe to me if you haven't already. I'm getting close to 50, guys, and I have I think it's 4,600 views. Thanks so much for the support, return watchers. If you just saw me, you've stumbled across one of the best reviewers on YouTube, I think, but that is a little conceited. There are some great people out there. MKBHD, if you haven't seen him, he's a great guy. So I'm just trying to live up to them. Please subscribe, like I said, like, rate in the comments. Be like 1 out of 10 if you were terrible. I do like constructive criticism along that thread. If you didn't like the video, let me know why. Message me, email me. I always get back to my emails. That's the quickest way to reach me. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Just a side note here, guys. Verizon did send me this HTC 8X to review, so thanks very much to the folks at Verizon. It's because of them I was able to review Windows Phone 8 and review the HTC 8X. So thanks very much for watching this video, guys. Thanks very much to those folks at Verizon again for sending me this phone for a period of time to review.